Consider this a visual podcast with pictures, my pictures, and I hope that you will take some time to enjoy them, even with the sound off. Anyway, at the risk of ridicule and disdain, I would like to restate the obvious. Yes, I'm a big boy and I can handle the criticism, but being poor, for the most part, I think is a matter of perception. Compared to someone else, you are rich, and compared to someone else, you are poor. The status of being rich or poor lies in the perception. My friend Linda, who lives in England in her own way, reminded me of certain poignant facts of life. Think about this. If you have food, shelter, and clothing, you are already better off than 75% of the people of the world. If you can read, you're way better off than billions of people in the world. And if you have any money at all in your wallet and change laying around, you are part of the top 8% of the world. If you're healthy, then you're better off than millions of people tonight that are suffering from ill health, even as we speak. In my opinion, our misery and contempt for status in life are not based on facts so much as they're based on our own misconceptions about ourselves. Truth, you see, is not always true. Truth can be based on tradition, can be based on customs, can be based on the views of elders, on time, emotions, instinct, majority rule, intuition, revelation, and so forth. You accept something as true because it is your religion, or your mother always did it that way, or they're symbols of your culture, and so on. After all, it takes an enlightened person to separate dogma from reason, facts from fiction, reality from fantasy. When was the last time you had a gut check of your belief system? There was a time when everyone knew that the earth was flat. There is a difference between being wealthy and being rich. I know that I'm wealthy beyond all expectations. I have something to eat, and I cannot eat more than one meal at a time. I have a bed to sleep in, and I cannot sleep in more than one place at a time. I have clothes to wear, and I can only wear one set at a time. I have friends, true friends, and above all, I'm free to create as I think I should, and someone who loves me for me and afford me the freedom to be as creative as I wish. No one can ever say, quote, my son the doctor, or my son the whatever, end quote, because I'm not a fulfillment of expectations based on my parents' failure. See what I mean? I am who I am because of who I choose to be. I do not need anyone's permission to be kind, to be generous, to be tolerant, to accept you just as you are. See, it is all part of my wealth system. That relative that no longer wishes to associate with you and your family because you're too poor is doing you a favor. Think about it. And I have relatives like that. That relative that considers you and your family way too uneducated and way too poor to be honored at their dinner table is doing you a favor. Really think about that. And again, I have relatives like that. Greed, pride, false ego, envy, hypocrisy, stupidity, they're not good qualities to emulate. Give those relatives that think less of you their space by removing yourself from their world. Just be happy with who you are and hold tight to those who love you in your world. If you can finish the statement, I am, and what follows are qualities and accomplishments that define you with a good sense of self, then you are wealthy. One of America's great thinkers, and a person that I consider a hero, is Leo Bascaglia, and this is what he said: a single rose can be my garden, a single friend my world. I think if we all look at life like that, we'll be much better off. Leo Bascaglia, by the way, he died back in 1998, I believe. I'm not sure of the date. As for me, if when I die, and after all my bills have been paid and obligations met, And if I have no money left, then I will have lived a successful life. It has been my choice to be a photographer, to record what I see as being beautiful, and to share my thoughts. It is your choice to consider whether or not my attempt at art has value. The truth is, whether or not you like my work, you're absolutely right. Freedom of choice is one of the great elements of wealth. In closing, let me say this. I believe that it is obscene for one to die rich when there are so many people in this world with so many different needs.